Hey. I said, excuse me, but you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, across the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch, I'm back. Now I'ma run it up. Snooze on the kid that you dumb or what? You better go get your numbers up. Now throw me
It's your boy William Zillions. Thank you very much again for joining us for another episode of iF0 Radio. Who are we? We're the International Film Operations, a film festival that exhibits films and gives opportunities to storytellers, on a mission to provide rewarding experiences to filmmakers all around the world, because we care about the filmmaker and making them tell their stories with their limited skills and resources, and then take the opportunity to celebrate, re-reward, and give more than just credits as we exhibit, judge, review, promote, experience, and new filmmakers from every part of the world. This is iF0 Radio. Once again, if you could find us on every social media platform, also check us out on Instagram at int.iflm.operations, Twitter, INTFILMOP, and YouTube and Facebook. You can find us at International Film Operations. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the topic will be learning filmmaking. I'm just a fan, you understand? I just like movies. I like watching big explosions and awesome hand-to-hand combat stuff. So I gotta find the subject matter experts to be able to talk about these things. Tonight we got an awesome guest, a true professional, local town hero when it comes to filmmaking. And I like the intro him in. His name is Mike Fox. Mike Fox, let's put a round of applause for Mike Fox. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Staying busy and excited about all things filmmaking. It's just a lot of things, a lot of movement out there, which is really good, refreshing actually.
Okay. So I think what we will talk about, we had a chance to talk for a few seconds beforehand, is the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, correct?
No Way Home, yeah.
So what are you most excited about? I know there's a lot of rumor mill information regarding this film. You got multi-dimensional conversations. What's up? What are you most pumped about?
I'm pumped about seeing the original cast villains. Which they've confirmed. It's already Jamie Foxx from Andrew Garfield's. It's Doc Ock, Alfred Molina from the original Tobey Maguire, and it's also Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. So I do voiceover.
That good at the Willem Dafoe. That was so good.
Can Spidey come out to play? So it's like, seeing all of them, come back, and the Sandman, and the Lizard, right? Isn't the Lizard, Professor Connor.
You know what I noticed? You know what I noticed, which is kind of cool, and I want to know your take on this. So we got Jamie Foxx back as Electro.
Yeah.
But he's no longer bright blue. They went more the traditional gold. Yellow, gold, green getup. How do you feel about that style choice?
I think there was a mixture of blue and gold, and we have yet to see if it translates, kind of thing, because it is the interdimensional cross dimensions merging kind of thing. Because even in the last trailers, you see where they say do you know Peter Parker? Yes. Is this Peter Parker? No. And it's just okay. So, there's just a lot of hype, and then of course you see the three Spider-Mans jump down at the same time. You're like, please, Toby, Andrew, Tom,
please do all of you.
But that's I wouldn't put it past me, because I just heard today, my wife was explaining that the next Jurassic World, which is the last in the series, is going to have Chris Pratt and Dallas Bryce Howard and Jeff Goldblum and Dr. Grant and Ellie.
Yo, Dr. Grant's coming back. That'd be
Dr.
nuts.
Grant's coming back
with a hat.
Yeah.
That'd be raw.
So you got Ian Malcolm, Chaos. You got Dr. Grant and then Ellie. Ellie. So they're all coming back. So if they're coming back, it's not hard to see that they can bring in, all the Spider-Mans and they should. Yeah. They really should, because they'll get every fan base, because you got people that love the first series, the second series, and then Tom Holland, and some people just swear by Tobey Maguire, and I understand that, but so that would be to their benefit,
What's your take on full CG Spider-Man versus practical Spider-Man? Mostly practical Spider-Man. What's your take on like Tobey versus like where we are now with Tom Holland?
It's a good question. They did do CGI on Tobey on at least the second and third, but it's a mixture. So they do a great job on mixing it up. They've gotten to a point to where you have to be a diehard fan to know the muscle movements and all that through the suits to even know when they're doing a lot of the CGI
that switch work. Out. Yeah, for sure.
And they mix it up so good that
so seamless.
I don't even worry about that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just like, it's like that guy on Transformers, impress me. So it's like, just do it and make it work, and I'm good. Because I know that they mix it up, and they've done such a good job. It's
question. Yeah, it is all
crazy. It's crazy.
I feel you now that spiritually for real. They had the have you seen the what ifs from Marvel?
So I haven't seen the what ifs. I've seen a lot of the previews for it. I think some would be good and some would not.
Yeah.
I know that Marvel is doing a lot of stuff. They're mixing and mashing all kinds of stuff. And some I think is really, really good. And then some I'm like, really? Why did you have to do that? It was good.
I appreciate you for being so nice when you said that. That was
got
wonderful.
To say, man. I mean, we saw the not the Immortals, Eternals.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about anybody else, but
what's your take on that? I'd love to know your take on the Eternals. Yeah, tell me what you think about this movie.
No qualms on saying # not my Marvel on that one.
Okay, fair.
I don't even consider. I consider that one like I consider Dark Phoenix a part of the X-Men. Not even. They pushed so much to make it full of narratives and nothing like the storyline and continuity of a normal Marvel film, that it was just hard to take in, to be honest with you. It's just it's like, okay, so you mentioned Captain America, you mentioned Avengers. That doesn't make it a Marvel movie, Plus, it was hard as a filmmaker myself.
Okay,
always learning. It was hard to follow, and for the majority of the people, if you've got a budget, even remotely the size of what a normal Marvel is, which I'd venture to say wasn't like a normal Endgame kind of thing, but at least you got. I'm assuming at least, and I can go on Google and check it out. I'm assuming at least they got 50+ million to work with.
Okay.
But
see if I can find it.
Yeah, I mean it'll show the budget investment. I'm assuming they had at least 45. 45 is considered medium budget. So if they had anything of that sort. The special effects were really good. The special effects were good, of course, Marvel, but
200 million was the budget for this.
Don't even say that. Don't even. I would have been more happy. I would have been felt better if it was 45 million, but 200 million.
They had I think it was, I don't know. I have to look through it and do more research. So this is not confirmed yet, but I assume that it's the actors that they had in it because there was so many actors.
I mean, okay, so you got Angelina. You got to pay her like, 100 million or whatever. But even her character was starchy and iffy. And still it was like, what? Okay. Yeah. She didn't even talk half the time because she was in timeout. I mean, so it's like, I think they had the dude that looked like Wong from Doctor Strange.
I'm looking at him right now.
Look, in the trailer, I thought it was Wong.
I thought it was Wong for sure. That's who I thought it was for.
And it wasn't, even though he was actually one of my favorites in the movie because he was just a good character.
Yeah, Don Lee played Gilgamesh.
But why would you have somebody that looks like a total Marvel character that is established everywhere, and have it on a side? There was so much of this movie that did not make sense, including the storyline and the back and forth between times. Like, okay, why are you in this point in history? Why did you go there? And it's just like all these different places, and you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to enjoy the ride at this point.
I am of the firm belief that before you can throw a film together with more than 2 main characters in it, you need to have some single character movies to help build up to that understanding, that context of why I should even care about these beings, these people on screen, aside from the enormity of their existence. Right. I had no real bearing on why I should be invested in these moments. Like, yes, they went through history. They tried their best to show that they were being powerful in a time of
but they couldn't because this rock monster said no.
But
like, okay.
But then they decided to go against the rock monster when they decided to go against the rock monster. So like, what are we even really talking about here?
And then the dude with the wonderful Irish accent, who's the main character, flipped on all of them and killed the main chick. I was like,
Richard Madden, freaking Rob Stark.
Is that the main guy?
Yeah. The gazer beam. Yeah.
I love his accent, man. I was like,
he killed that. I enjoy it. The action is good. You're not gonna. The CGI was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was nice. All of the visuals were really cool. I love the scale of everything. That was something I think they did really good at, showing the enormity of the Eternals themselves.
One of my favorite characters was the lady who was deaf.
With the speedster.
No, she was deaf. She was like one of the first, deaf. And I read this thing about how Angela Jolie on set helped because they all had to turn around, when on cue. But if you're deaf, because my wife, she has certificates in sign language and stuff, and we learn sign language and all that, ASL, which is different than sign English. But so they were trying to figure out how can she turn around on set? She can't hear the cue, and so Angela Jolie said, "Why don't you put a laser on, so she can see it." So she helped that situation, and that was really cool. Angela Jolie is like very helpful. I didn't know that. That was really cool. But I think she was my favorite character on there. So it had potential.
It had potential. It had parts.
It had potential, but the storyline. I mean, again, as a filmmaker and up and coming and learning filmmaker, there's so much to learn. Even we just got through doing our premiere, and it was a sold out premiere for our feature film, The Box in the Basement. It was incredible.
So let's get into this because I want to talk about you more because I think we wrung out the rag on big Hollywood stuff. I have fun. We get back into that, by the way. I'm down for that. But I want to talk about you. I want people to know about who you are as a filmmaker. and what it was for you to have to learn to, love your process and be strong in it.
So that's a great question. I'll tell you, because it's an always learning process. Every time I think I caught something, I look and I see like others that are like, that's old news for them, and I'm like, oh, man, when will I arrive? It never. But I'll tell you what, the process. See, the Box in the Basement film for feature film that we did, I wrote, created, produced. It started out as a 2 to 3 minute show reel extra for our daughter, who's an actress and professional actress in voiceover. And so it just, had to do with this extra drama that I wanted to get her some show reel. So then it quickly evolved into, you know what, let's put a storyline to this. This is kind of, I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. And then it grew from that to like a small short, a film short, because I already did a sci-fi film short and won some awards and stuff. And so, started getting way deep into the filmmaking side of things. I've always been into filming and filmmaking on the back end of things. We love like the behind the scenes almost as much as the film itself, And so, because I've been in the creative industry for about 25 years doing design and all kinds of stuff. So I started, it grew into a film short. And then I put out a little casting call, and in like 5 days, I got like 85 submissions. Whoa. And I'm like, all right, this is turning out. And I'm like, all right, okay, let's think about this. And it kept on growing like exponentially. And then all of a sudden, like I couldn't sleep because all these plot lines and things were coming into it. What if this? And then the parents and a best friend. And then, I mean, literally the thing, I'm just amazed. The whole process and the storyline grew into like the film touches on everything from anti-bullying to parenting relationships to taking responsibility to making choices for your own future, kind of like a Terminator and Back to the Future mesh type of situation. And then, I mean, so it grew to a film short, into a film medium, and we had all these other scenes together. And then I'm still thinking, I felt bad, and even my wife and daughter, I told them, I said, man, I still feel bad because there's a lot of missing like transition scenes here. And so I had other filmmaker friends say, look, you need to make it into a feature film. And I'm like, feature film, right?
For us amateurs in the room, can you define what's the separation between the short film and then what's the feature film? What is that time length for you?
So it used to be, it's got to be 2 hours kind of thing. And it actually depends on the distribution.
Oh.
Because there are some distributions that go 60 minutes.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's for the most distributors out there, if you want to make it something, you got to make it at least 80 minutes.
Okay.
And so we're like doing all these scenes, and we did extra scenes and all kinds of stuff. And people are saying, friends of mine, like, you got to make it into a feater film, to do something with it. And I'm just like, come on, man. Have you seen my pockets? And so me and my wife, we were on like we had a date night, and we were just walking at the park and just talking about it, thinking like, man, it would be awesome if we could. And so we started counting up the minutes that we had. Yeah. And we're like, what about this scene? Okay, so that's this scene. Oh yeah, we have that scene and that scene. And we just did that scene. We added these two scenes. And pretty soon it was like, you know what? It's not that far off. Yeah. And so we said, you know what? We can do this. We added some scenes that were extra scenes that could not, they became an integral part of the movie, where we had like our daughter, she plays Avery, the teen, and we brought in an actor that I've used on other projects to be like a big brother in a Mexican restaurant. And I'm telling you what, man, that was that was so off the charts. It was just like, you would never have thought that was an extra scene. You would have thought that was like one of the pivotal scenes of the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And then we brought on a unique, really awesome little guy called Kavanaugh, who's 8. Well, he was 8. I think he's 9, maybe 10 now or something like that. When he started, he was 8 years old, and he's an anti-bullying dude that speaks all over the place.
Whoa.
In fact, the same weekend.
8 years old.
Yeah. So I think he's 9 maybe now, but like the same weekend that he came to be on set to film was when he and his mom went on a Steve Harvey show.
What?
And so I'm like,
coolkid.com.
like, come on, Kavanaugh. So he's been a TED Talk speaker and stuff. I'm like, what? How did you do that? Because we've been trying to get our daughter to be a TED Talk speaker because she's a keynote speaker. But anyways,
kids.com.
right?
Kids.com for sure.
So we were just thankful they came on board and added an extra element for anti-bullying, gave him a little extra cushion to say, hi, I'm as himself. Hi, I'm Kavanaugh. I go around speaking around the country, and it hit the anti-bullying message for the main character and stuff. So that was like some beautiful touches and stuff. And it came out to like 88 minutes total. So we're like, okay, we got it.
Did you have the name at the beginning, or did the name come to y'all eventually throughout the process?
The name came from the beginning because we really love names and titles.
Yeah.
The box in the basement. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I started to create. I created just trailers from the get-go. Yeah. And then I
was able to watch the trailers, by the way. I tuned into those on the YouTube. So
cool.
I have some of the visuals understood to some degree for sure.
It was awesome. It was really fun. We actually won like 14 awards for the trailer. And then I just got 2 new official selections for, I think, the trailer and the film this morning, but we've already won like 7 or 8 like actual award-winning winner awards, film festival winner awards for the film. So it's it's been
good.
It's been a blessing. I'll tell you. It's just been amazing. We had people donating school buses, classrooms,
that's incredible.
Locations. And this is where, for me as a filmmaker, as as a aspiring filmmaker myself, this is when it hit me really hard on a positive level. On day 2, we've done a lot of filming, a lot of days, but on our main 3 days of filming that we had in the beginning, before we had to add all the other ones, on day 2 on set, we had like 85 people on set.
Okay.
Like 75 to 85 people, I think, on set. And to see everybody on set for a film that you put together is just like,
it's humbling. Yeah,
that's like,
it's humbling. It's heartwarming.
It was just like, taken back. Like, is this how Steven Spielberg feels all the time?
Probably.
But yeah, exactly. Like, he's like, only 85. Come on,
yeah. Up those numbers.
right. Yeah, it was awesome. I just felt really, really good. And the parents actually gave some incredible feedback. And then we had this premiere, like I said, that was sold out. We had 110 people show up at this premiere for Delaware. That's like a blowout. Wow. And it was sold out for like 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we've had people all over. We had family and friends come from West Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Tennessee, DC, Maryland, New York, Philly, of course, but all over to come to the premiere. And it was just like a full-on, we shelled it out for them, to make it special. And some of the kids and some of the cast, this was their first time on set, first time at a premiere. We gave everybody, recognition and all that kind of stuff. It was amazing.
So with this, this is being like such a success, such a transformative project. What does it mean to you with the process of learning how to make film? Where does your intuition play in your process? Like, do you have a set checklist of things you got to do when you're working through stuff, or is it more of a intuitive voice that's sort of guiding you when it comes to your process? What's that for you?
I would say it's a combination, because you learn a lot of things on what to do and what not to do on the job training. That's what it is, you know. And because, you know, not everybody has the same cameras, and we had different cameras. So, you know, we are our own worst critics. I totally get that. You can ask like my daughter or my wife, and it'd be like the file is like final, right? It's like, you know, like Box in the Basement dash final. Then there's final A and final B and final A2. And it's like, okay, it's really not final, because it'll never be final, because I'll just see stuff over and over. I had to come to a place as a filmmaker, learning, so much learning curves going on. I had to come to a place where I'm like, you know what? It's never gonna be perfect. I'm never going to make it to where I'm just like, yes, no change. I don't see anything wrong with it. I have to lock up the box and say, I got to move on.
See what you did there.
The box.
That was good.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's pretty much it. I had to learn. So yeah, it's a combination to answer your question, because there's a lot of things I know next time that I got to do to make it easier. And I know what to look out for and what to look out not for. And at the same time, the intuition part, like you said, I think that's a big thing. You open that box right there. Okay. Because as a filmmaker, I really understand more and more how you have to go with what you know on the inside. It's got to be this way. Because I've ran across a number of people, you know, cinematographers and other people, you know, that would give you a logical, well, A plus B equals C. And I'm like, you know what? But I see Z in my mind, you know, and that's what I need to convey. And I can't pinpoint right there, this is the exact reason. I just know that I know it's gotta be, you know. And so it's really important for all filmmakers out there. It is super duper important to find a cinematographer, if you're not doing it, and you have a DP on board, to find somebody that is not going to clash with you or try to override your vision because they do cinematography and they've been in the business for 400 years, blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, you've got to find somebody who is like a Caleb to a Moses, you know, or an Aaron to a Moses, that will say, hey, you got the vision. I'll be here to hold up your hands, you know, whatever way I can, because it's your vision as the director. And there's plenty of people out there that'll do that, but make sure you get a DP, if you're gonna have somebody else to help you film, that is looking out for your vision, not try to impose their vision on yours, because it won't come out right.
Yeah, it's excellent advice. That's excellent advice. Is this all about, like, I'm a true believer in productivity, you know, like I like, you know, songwriting is a huge thing for my life. So but being in a collaborative space is really important for me sometimes too. And it's not so much about being like the shiniest part on the song. It's about putting every piece up together perfectly so the entire song is as good as it can be when the people push play on it. So like I move in that space with creativity. Like what can we do to make the product live and thrive as true as possible? And I think, like, if it's anything like that in film, I could imagine you filmmakers have a damn good time at work, for real.
It's good. When the people are good, it is like, it is heaven. It's like awesome. And even recently, because I've worked on sitcom stuff, and I'm actually bringing it back now for episode 2 and beyond, we'll see. But working on a comedy sitcom, which is a whole different flavor and different thing than cinematic, completely different. You know, It's like, you know, lobster, butter sauce, P&J, it's just different, it's, but to go off of what you're saying, it's like, it means a lot, because I had to deal as a director.
Okay.
I had to deal with unity as a main issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have unity in the vision,
Mm-hmm.
it really makes things very hard. And it's important to get people on board, that actors, production crew and actors. So set, cast and crew. It's important to get cast and crew that know how to unify to make the vision work together. And when you do, see, if everybody succeeds, then everybody succeeds. It's like a puzzle piece. The puzzle's not completed. You can't hang it on the wall if you got one piece missing, kind of thing. Yeah. And so the collaborative effort, like you said, is so important.
On the topic though, and this is something that I was doing some research on you, and I was like, yo, this guy is he's pretty dope, because like your whole family works together to accomplish stories and bring them to life, and it's like a full-on family effort. And that's like, to me, when I read that, I'm like, yo, that's beautiful. Feel me? That's the dream. That's the like that's fire. He's really creating like the stories that are gonna bring light to like tomorrow's classics with his family today. And I think, that's on the topic of collaborating. How is that process been for everybody? Are y'all is it ever evolving, or are there like certain positions that y'all shine in? What's that like for y'all?
It's a great question too. We do everything as a family. Everybody knows us as the Fox family. Mm-hmm. Honestly, our daughter is the star of the show. In all honesty, at 15, she's a 3-time published author, Amazon bestseller, keynote speaker, actress, professional voiceover, certified bilingual, learning 3 other languages, and still going. She just, it's like the Energizer Bunny. So she's that way. So she's involved with everything, plus technical side of stuff. My wife she's a voiceover. She's an actress. She helps with everything in the background. So like we work together on everything. She was in the process as well. Okay. So we just kind of work with the situation, however we can do it together. We're actually flying out to Texas to do some filming on a project, and we're actually going to be at another project in Florida. That one we can talk about. It's called Unlawful Duties, and there's some big names on there, but we're going out together. We do things together. We don't do things separate. And we're also marriage coaches, certified marriage coaches. So we kind of have a deeper understanding on the dynamics of how working a lot, or being on set, or being at a job, or whatever, can take its toll in a marriage and a family. So we pretty much have done it this way since our daughter was born. Work together as a family, balance in whatever capacity we can.
That's awesome.
You have to make it happen though. It doesn't fall in.
It's an effort here.
Man. Yes.
Are you? So coming up, what do you guys have in the future sites? What do you guys currently have your eyes on for the next coming, the next year, first quarter? Anything got coming up for the people to keep their eyes out for me?
Yeah. So we're in talks on distribution for The Box in the Basement. So we're just trying to get that going. Open for anybody who can, to donate or invest in recouping the cost for that. But we've already connected with somebody, unless an opportunity door opens up that's just amazing, that we just step into. But we're already moving forward to get The Box in the Basement into distribution. So, by time wise, it should be within the beginnings of the next year. Should be on like Amazon and Tubi and all kinds of different places.
Right now, where can our fans find your film right now? Is it will it be available digitally anytime soon?
So because of the distribution legal part, the film it's not public. So
big
just
dog business, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got smart creatives on this channel right now. I just want y'all to know that here on the iF0 radio. For real.
Hopefully. Well, but so that's what's happening with The Box in the Basement. People are wanting number 2, of course, and we left it. See, that was one of I'm so excited about this because one of the last things that we did is we left it on a cliffhanger, like ultimate cliffhanger. And people are like, oh, like what? And we did that with the main character's best friend.
Okay.
And so without giving it away, you don't know what happens if the best friend goes through the same thing in temptation, basically, as the main character. So you don't know where they stand or what's happening, what happened. So we put some things in place, even almost like pretty much after the main scene. 2 things after the main scene gives you like, what? Yeah. Oh no, don't. So that's, we're putting it out there. We're authors as well, so we know that it's important to give that cliffhanger type of thing.
Look, I paid for the whole seat, but I only need the ledge. I only need the ledge. I promise the edge of the seat's all I need. Just need the edge.
Oh, and then Want to Be a Star. That's the comedy sitcom that'll be coming out. That will be, if we can get distribution, that'll be great. The episode 1 is out there on.
Got the pilot? Let's go.
Pilot is out there. Yeah. Pilot is out there. And we're going to be starting to push it back out there for more visibility.
Okay. Bet.
It was a test pilot. But it garnered so much response and so much engagement and interest. It was actually very amazing, incredible content. I'm the director, producer, executive producer, co-writer, and post-production, pretty much the whole 9 yards, but in conjunction with the creator, who is the main character of Want to Be a Star. And he was the writer for the first episode, the pilot. And then of course, me and our daughter is the editor anyway. So we jumped in and helped out on that part, on a lot of part. And now I'm co-writer. But it's off the charts, man. It is good content. It's stuff Tyler Perry would go, let me pick that up. Yeah. It's just good stuff. Good family fun. It's a faith-based comedy sitcom.
Okay.
But it's not preachy. It's just good family fun. Yeah. And good characters.
Hell yeah.
We got a lot of the same characters and new characters coming up on the next one. I'm telling you what, episode 2 is written like off the charts. It is
Pearl.
It is good.
Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Pearl.
It's written for 28 minutes per se, which is a normal episode.
Mm-hmm.
The pilot was a test pilot, and we got so much results. We're like, okay, we got to do it. We ran into a snafu right before filming, so we had to drop that and just let the dust settle there. We're starting just now. I mean, just even like this today and yesterday, talking on getting this thing going. Most of the cast are back on board. We're getting new cast members, and man, it's gonna be good stuff. Really good content. Mm-hmm. Really good content. So that's coming, and that will be coming for early-ish part of 2022. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to check out Mike Fox and his awesome family. You can find them on the internet at crystalfoxfilms.com. For just be updated on all of their awesome projects, both current and future. Their family is clearly dangerous. This is like Spy Kids. Loki, Antonio Banderas is who I'm talking to. Loki right now. That. It's kind of intense. It's kind of cool.
Ponytails like a.
You feel me? With the giant thumbs. Like,
Like... That was cool. I actually enjoyed that.
Like I think that learning about you and learning about your process, filmmaking to me is, I experience it most of the time in its final form. I get to, as a fan, I get to go push play on it. I get to rewind it whenever I want to. I can go fast forward to my favorite parts. But there is a lot of sweat and effort that goes into being able to give us those plays so effortlessly on the fan side.
Don't forget the tears.
And the tears, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget the tears.
Don't forget the
you know
tears.
what I mean? So like being able to talk to filmmakers through the iF0 radio, like through iF0 radio, the opportunity that it presents to me is to be able to gain a deeper, more richer understanding of the stuff that I can't live without. You know what I'm saying? And like recently, it was more like being introduced to more short film makers and seeing how they're cramming so much depth of story in these the very short time durations. I'm like, whoa, like I didn't know my imagination could really like
some of the budgets for these short films. I'm like, they're really they're really hitting it hard.
It makes 200 million sound a little excessive for sure. Like based on the final product of that situation versus the awesomeness of the stories I've been getting from the films that I've seen through the iF0 has been like, wow, it's sort of up my standards for what I'm looking for from my big blockbuster stuff as far as story goes.
But music, since that's what you do, I just want to, I have to emphasize your point to all filmmakers that are listening or watching. Music was a big part of our feature film, and it's a big part of our life. We're like, life isn't life without music, and so almost every single scene in our movie was with music. One of the things I really bugs me a lot is when it's like dead silence. And it's like, even if you put a little like orchestral violin that's this big just to give some ambience or something, but still, you got to be very careful on your silent spots. It really bugs me when there's a lot of silent spots and it's just like, okay. But but we've had composers from Brazil, UK, Philly donate and for our box in the basement, we had an Italian band that's a international known like band that travels and everything. That's one of our favorite electro swing bands. A lot of people don't even know electro swing, but they donated the usage of their song for the for the film. Electro swing is like EDM. You're like, electro swing? It's swing and electronic music.
Okay.
It's like, because I produce EDM music. I do EDM stuff. But if you can fuse electronic EDM and swing band type of stuff together, it is a huge genre, like epic. You know, you just do a search on electro swing. There's, I mean, it's like majorly, seriously. And so one of our favorite electro swing bands, they donated 7 million faces. They're called Swing Rowers. Shout out to them. They're just amazing, and they're international. They're like, you know, famous, and they're Italian, but they donated the use of their song 7 million faces for the movie. And it was just like, oh, it was one of our favorite songs. It fit because the main character was like, basically she learned how to affect and impact others, which comes back to you. So if you help and you impact others' lives, you know, what you do comes back. And there's it's a whole part of the storyline kind of thing. I won't give that part away, but she starts helping others, and this song is like 7 million faces. You see 7 million faces in your own, you know, in your own face kind of thing. It was just like, oh man. So music was a huge part of this movie, and every movie that we love, music is makes it or breaks it. So our styles, we love almost every style. I'm not too into country, but we love so many styles. But when you can put the music to the style of your narrative and your movie, different themes, different scenes requires different music. Yes, sir. One thing that I will say to a lot of filmmakers is don't use the same style of music throughout the entire film. Switch it up. Okay. You've got a scene that is maybe a dialogue scene, right? And they're talking to each other, and it's tense, and your actors are tense because it's a serious dialogue. You don't want to be using some dropping beats type of situation. You want to incorporate, whether it's your favorite or not. And here's the thing about what I'm learning over and over again. It's not really about me. It's about the audience. Yes, sir. What's going to inspire, empower, and affect and impact the audience. That's why I love our movie that we did. You know, there's so many things I can learn on how to do it better before, during, and after, even in post-production. But still, it still impacted a lot of people, made people laugh and cry. And the music played, I believe, a huge part of it because it fit the scene. It made, you know, it moves you. Music moves you. Hell yeah. Cinematic, yeah. And you know, and so even if you're not like, that's not the style of music you listen to on your own time, understand the story, the mood, the scene. Is the scene going to call for some underscore of orchestral stuff, cinematic orchestra? You know, then you go to a club. Okay, well, you're not going to be putting flutes. You're going to be putting some bass and
imagine if they drop flutes in the club.
Well, unless you're going to the opera house, you know, or something. But still, you know,
heavy
set the mood for the theme. Take them on a journey that fluctuates. Yeah, it's not just that. Like one. Don't make it linear. Okay. Don't make it a linear thing. Okay. In other words, fluctuate. Go high, go low. You know, think Whitney Houston.
Yes, sir.
You know,
dynamics.
Think you go, or just. But that sets the emotions. That touches each part of the emotions. So take them on a journey. A regular journey is not like a straight street. It goes through paths and curves around. You know, take them on a Lord of the Rings type of journey, and you'll impact them. You know.
Yes, sir. Listen, crystalfoxfilms.com. Mike Fox. He's awesome. I'm gonna talk to him for a little bit longer I just need you to check out his work. I need you to check out his awesome family's work, the efforts that they're putting out there. Please stay tapped into them because they have this incredible new film coming to you, being distributed within the next year. And I saw the trailer, so the visuals were very. I'm pretty sure that she had a tesseract at one point, and it was amazing. So I'm locked in. I'm locked in. So please check out Mike Fox. I gotta ask you a question because we're talking music and film. We're talking about learning and executing and implementing as a part of the process. It is different from being a fan and being the creator. So here's the questions. Which genre do you prefer is your favorite to watch versus which genre of film is your favorite to create? Are they the same or do they differ?
That's a good question.
I'm interested.
I'm telling you what, there are so many movies that I love to watch and so many genres. Everything from Inception or mystery, like you have to figure something out, to like The Matrix. So I mean, the Matrix is one of our faves, but then so is Mortal Engines, because it is so steampunky. So it's really hard to say what's my favorite genre to watch. I have like favorites in so many genres. Sci-fi. I like some like romance. I'm not a huge chick flick person per se, but there are some
bangers. They got some bangers.
I mean, me and my wife, I love to watch it with her. And there are some that are actually really, really good. Even like The Lake House with Keanu Reeves was like actually a really good romance, but it had a little sci-fi thrown in it a little bit. And so it was like, you know what, this is kind of cool, but they did a good job. It wasn't super duper mushy, So the kinds I like are stuff that really I don't have to wonder like, okay, why, or I have to look for, I see things that doesn't make sense or looks cheesy or something like that. So there's just so many genres, and then The Dark Knight, even the DC. What's that?
How about shooting them? What's your favorite genre to shoot? Because is that an easier question on that side? Is that still
it is easier? It is easier. I actually like sci-fi based type of stuff.
Okay.
But not sci-fi as in just pure like Star Trek, Star Wars type of situation. There you go.
Yeah.
I like sci-fi based only on the science fiction part of things. For example, like even Inception, or just, I mean, there's so many. Well, Matrix is sci-fi, but sci-fi on the basis of that it is science fiction. It's not exactly true to reality right now, but it could be. And so infused sci-fi with families type of stuff. Like, for example, I'm working on something else now that is more of a family friendly, like a detective mystery type of things for like youth type of thing. I like fun. I like shooting fun stuff that I don't like doing cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
And if I had the budget, I'd be shooting a lot of sci-fi stuff. Just not like super sci-fi, like Star Wars and Star Trek. All those.
So more like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Versus more so than like Lost in Space.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good analogy.
Come along.
Came alive with us. Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy William Zillions here with iF0 Radio. Just want you to know that if you want some really cool gear for your favorite independent filmmaker, you should mosey on over to internationalfilmoperations.com and check out our new indie line. Learning topic of like learning. For me, my uncle always told me that you never really learn something until you implement it. That sort of completes the sentence. That's at least the comma in the sentence to get it going to where it needs to go from there. And as I'm learning from filmmakers in their process, from all of the levels of it, there's the pre-situation, there's the during situation, and there's the after situation. And then there's all of the marketing that comes with this push. And then there's such a long life of this because it's a movie. A movie lives for, I mean, it's arguable that every form of art lives forever, but movies live forever. Like the format of fusing audio and video into experiences that people live their lives by, man, so it lives forever. So I see that there is so much beautiful story beyond these stories, like from the creators themselves. And that's what I'm here for, to be able to learn about y'all and see what pushes y'all, what is it that helps y'all to like not just keep going, but be the best version of yourselves every morning when you wake up while doing it. And for you, I feel like, I think you're a shining light and example for any filmmaker or any creative that listens to this episode. Because to me, family ideally is like the closest thing. It's one of those things I would love to have kids one day in the future and be able to build and work and watch them evolve and thrive in their skill sets. Like, that's so crazy. That sounds so rewarding to me.
Yeah, man.
Yo, you're like top 5 coolest cats on the planet. Top 5. Top 5. It's like,
dude, it's awesome to see our daughter,
you, bro.
It is. I can't even say, how amazing the feeling is, like you're saying, just to see our daughter succeed. But it takes a lot of investment, a lot of time investing, money, of course, but the time to invest in nurturing and coaching and just doing all that stuff for a length of time, but then to see it like boom, you're just like going, like right now we try to outdo each other. I'm like, you got this project, come on, man, I got to get this project now, and stuff.
That's the way.
So but it's amazing. You're right. You're so right. And that's why we do what we do, family. We keep things family, and in our society and day where everybody's so busy, it's something that you have to shoot for, make it happen kind of thing.
Sure.
And it's not easy, but we're thankful. I mean, that's all. When it boils down to it, we're just thankful that we get to do stuff together.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't want to do anything apart from each other. It's just, call us crazy, but we just have that family dynamic. That's how it's gonna be.
Better that way.
Yeah.
For real. So I want to ask, along this mighty journey that you're still on, is there anything that you would say or give advice on to young, new, or experienced filmmakers out there as to something that you might have done differently along your journey?
Yeah, there's probably about 500 things I would have done differently.
Yeah,
but
you could pick like 2 if you want to really give them like the gems. But just one for now.
So a couple of things, yeah. The first one, well, okay, I'll try to narrow it down.
Let's go.
The first one is something that you'd probably say anyways, and that is, don't wait, just do it. Like you touched on, like, get out your camera, make sure your batteries are charged up, and get out there and do it. You're only going to learn, like echoing what you said, you're only going to learn while on the field per se.
Yes,
a car, no matter how good the power steering is, doesn't steer left or right until it's moving. And so you gotta move forward in order to go left or right. Yeah. So yeah, that's number one. Just do it. Just go out and do it. Number 2, connect with others that share your vision and your passion. I mean, sounds like a nice saying to put on on the bottom of an email, but it's true. You know, collaborate with others that share your vision and passion. If they're not, and they're just out for themselves and you're out for yourselves, then you're gonna part ways eventually. Number two, I understand 100% fully the hardships of being an indie filmmaker and budgets and all that kind of stuff. But as much as possible, don't cut corners. As much as possible, don't cut corners. If you can't, and you need to save that $150 for groceries, by all means, don't take away food from the table.
Yes, sir.
But maybe you can find a different way to still do it. Be creative. One of the things I'm learning okay, I'll share something with you, and then I'll share this with you now so you can see it. But this is like so cool. We felt so good about this. It's amazing. And we're just like laughing and smiling. We're like, dude, that's so cool, you know? But one of the scenes I had to create, and I got this off of somebody else who showed how they did it. And I had to create a storm scene.
Okay. And
so one of the things I had to do, and I wanted to do, is I wanted to create, and I saw this and I'm like, dude, I've got to do this. How do I do this? And it's one of those things I'm like so jazzed to explain, because it's a storm scene with the main character sleeping, and you got the music, and it's like intense, and she's sleeping, and she's dreaming. But what it starts out, what it opens is you hear the thunder, you hear the rain, and you hear the water up against the window, and you see and I remember seeing this from Polar Express 3D, that animated Polar Express.
Yes, sir.
If you I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
I remember, yeah.
But when I saw the kid on the bed, you can see the shadows of the snow through the window on his face. And so I'm like, I've never forgot that. I was like,
that's a crazy reference.
Right? So I'm like, I remember that. I remember a lot of certain things. I'm like, one day, like, you know, like what's his name? One day, baby, one day. So it's like, I remember that. And because it showed a turning or a close-up panning, zoom in, and it showed like you saw the snow, the shadow of the snow coming down on his face. And I was like, I want to do that with the rain. And so just so you know, we created that whole scene, multiple storm scenes, and we got to do it with the rain, and you could see the shadow of the rain coming down on her face. I was like, we did it. Yeah. You can see the raindrop shadows coming through, because we had a light outside. My wife was standing out there with a hose on the window of our dining room. Our dining room became the bedroom, and so it looks dope. It looks off the chain. And so you hear it, you can see the water, and of course you got sound, you got to add post, but like you hear it, you hear the water, you see the water just go, and then we had a light up on a ladder, up on a pole, taped with duct tape, going like this, you know, and so that it would show way behind this bright light, and on the inside.
Did you shoot this during the day or night?
We shot it during the night.
Whoa, okay.
We shot it during the night because we needed the brightness to create the shadow on the face through the window on the bed. And so it was just like, it was dude,
hardcore movie.
It started to rain for real, and my wife's out there going, "It's getting cold," and then
I don't think I need to be out here anymore. But
then this thing is plugged into electricity and stuff, and we're like, "Okay, we gotta hurry, we gotta hurry,
gotta
you know." And so she's out there, but it looks awesome, and I'm like, you can see it. I'm like, we did it.
That's so real. For real.
So, but the reason I said all that is because you got to do what you got to do to make it work. Is what's been said all kinds of ways, different ways in filming, especially when you're on a budget.
Yes, sir.
Going back to my original thing, I understand if you don't have a budget, but whatever it takes is the key phrase in filming. And you got to find all kinds of creative ways to make it happen.
Productivity, baby.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
tell you.
Seriously. So I just want to push that for all the filmmakers. You've got to be creative. If you don't have some huge, gigantic budget that you could buy everything, then you gotta be creative to make it happen. And there are so many different ways, so many behind the scenes things. I'm like, really? Is that it? You know,
yeah.
A camera on a potato sack going across instead of like a tripod thing, because they didn't have it.
But it looks great.
And it was just like, wow, you would never know. You would never know. So be creative, make it happen. Don't cut corners if you don't have to. Collaborate with those that share your vision and get out there and just do it.
Yo, look, we asked for one. He gave us a fistful and they were epic. You know what I'm saying? Check out my boy Mike Fox on the social medias. Where can we find you on social medias? Let the people know where we can find you.
Social media, we're on a number of places. That would be awesome if you can check out our content. We got a bunch of stuff going on. First one is going to be actually on Instagram. That's the fave. On Instagram, we have 3 different accounts going that we're pushing. The first one would be official Mike Fox. That's what I'm doing most stuff on. We just started the Crystal Fox Films, so you can go there too. We'll start pushing that, Crystal Fox Films. By the way, the Crystal Fox is what we got from Star Wars. The Crystal Fox, that's our favorite creature in Star Wars. You remember that one?
So no, because I'm not an ultra big Star Wars fan.
Okay.
I gotta be honest and upfront here.
It's in the trailer. If you look for it, they have a Crystal Fox in one of the newer Star Warses, and we're like, dang, that's fire. Awesome creature, man. That's one of our favorite.
And it lines up. See, here I was thinking that you were just, Fox. It was about you being a shiny example for society as I don't know about
shiny, but Fox Films, of course, that's our last name, Fox. So we're like Crystal Fox. So, and then of course, Splash Design Works is our main creative business. Splash Design Works on IG. And then our daughter, she posts all kinds of stuff with the stuff that we're doing, and her name is A Fox Author, like the author of a book, A Fox Author. So if you like, share and follow, and just reshare if you can, that'd be awesome. But we post all kinds of stuff all the time, and we give shout outs for a lot of other people. I'll be doing that actually, like upcoming.
Okay.
Posting all kinds of pics of the premiere and other people, the crew and the actors and actresses, and even the production people. We love to give shout outs to other people. We love to lift others up.
Collaboration, ladies and gentlemen. Dreams come true when teams come through. That's a fact. Friggin', yo, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me tonight about learning about filmmaking. That was my whole goal for tonight, was to learn more about it. I feel like I have so many gems personally from you. You're the easiest person in the world to talk to. I was like a little nervous at first because like I only had like a few minutes to sort of get stuff together or whatever, but you made me super comfortable. So thank you so much for being yourself. iF0 Radio, man. We're gonna try and have more awesome people come talk to y'all about filmmaking and all the different subgenres of topics we can get into in there. I'd love to talk to you some more too in the future if that's cool, just because I felt like we sort of geeked out on some movies and I wouldn't mind rapping with you on some movie stuff for a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, Mike, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you for as far as being a storyteller and a filmmaker and a shining light for how to do it right with business, with your family, bro. Oh man, yo, fucking high five. High five award of the day goes to Mike Fox, for real. But yo, I just gotta say, you can find us, iF0, International Film Operations, all over the place, on YouTube, on Facebook, find us at International Film Operations on Instagram at int.film.operations, and on Twitter it's INTFILMOP. And if you're into it, Film Freeway, filmfreeway.com / IFO. You can find a ton of awesome worldwide storytellers and their short films in so many different versions of it, minute long, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Like, it's crazy how much story these people are fitting into these stories. I urge you to check out the IFO. I'm William Zillions. You can find me at We Create Us TV on YouTube because I'm a content creator. I like to tell stories in my little formats, and I'm just trying to learn from the best here. So find me at WeCreateUs.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to IFO Radio. And yo, it's been awesome, and I'll see y'all soon. Still true for them. Stay true.
Where?
And I'll stop recording.
When they speak of grace, knowing they didn't include me, it took me a while. I weathered the storm. Bitch, why you hating? Get better informed. No room to slip when the pressure is on. You wasn't with it to move it along. I said, excuse me, you don't understand where I'm at. I was all around the world, on span, across the map. I've been laying low and now it's time to pop up, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, 다들 하지 뻔한 이야기, her brain fried. My lady papa Zenny, other lady popping Molly, why she waiting on me? 여기 나의 area, 여기 my area. Keep on heading if you want, I drive it like you know. I don't wanna hear you, 지겹잖아 이제 넌 like I'm Bango, cutting my hair. I just keep going though, 소식껏 날 믿고 I fly non-stop, Kelly에서 뉴욕 구름 위로 hop on. Drive out and riding birds, honeyberry counting gobs. I do what I wanna do, 그게 나의 문의원. 너넨 꿈꾸지 말만 많지, just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Get to know me and I 내 flow가 짧은 눈이 분위기는 chill. Fendi snakes on my barrel, yeah I'm feeling first class. Yo, don't cash flow. Ooh, pop it on my glass. Ooh, pop that pass. Ooh, smoke that gas. Cash pay, blackjack, monkeys on my pick. 100, 200, multiply. Dollar sounds my lullaby. Come on, never sleep on me. Eyes on my chain, 숙여 너의 고개를. What you looking at, fool? 너의 눈 허리 멍청했고. Find your comfort from another, yeah. I go low like undercover, yeah. Wanna know my name, 죽지 않은 일은 위에 부어버려 기름. Yes, you can even guess me, cause I'm baby. High low 확실해, not like maybe. Baby, let me welcome to my palace. 찾지 않아 Alice, you just keep on wonder. You just keep on wonder. 찾지 않아 Alice, 버려 너의 memory. I just pop a bin, Danny how you been? 나는 걸어 Boeing 747, I get weak, get ready. Like I wanna get late, 준비해 빨리. We ain't got a lot of time, man, wavy night. Jameson hit the rock bottom. 잃어버린 정신머리들, yeah I got 'em, yeah I shot 'em. 모든 problems, 언제까지 기다려야 할래 now gone, yeah.